And that's the mega force and power of the 14th February, I believe. Something that all the political societies, though they worked many years, they just couldn't put all of us together.
There are, however, politicians in the crowd. Ibrahim Sharif is leader of the opposition Wa'ad party and takes part in the present parliamentary system which the protesters want reformed. He's been at the protests from the start.
Is this a youth movement that is being supported by political groups, or is this a political movement that has embraced the youth?
It's the first one. It's a youth movement. They were ahead of us. We have to acknowledge that. These guys have been on the internet for since Egypt started. And they chose a very good date, actually. 14th of February is the date of constitutional coup d'etat of 2002.
Sharif is a Sunni, but those around him seem a mixed group. The message of the protesters is clear. The February 14th movement is about unity, not sectarianism. But the king is warning that protests will lead to the sectarian abyss and has raised the spectre of neighbouring Shiite Iran taking over the country.
بالنسبة لنا نسأل الشباب أحافيكم يبي دولة دينية يقول لك لا أحافيكم يبي دولة مثل إيران ولا يبي دولة مدنية مثل
It's a powerful bogeyman for countries across the globe, not least the US, which has a major naval base here. But it's something the protesters want to refute.
الشباب اللي هني في الدوار ما عندهم شيء ضد الطائفة السنية. إذا كنتوا أنتم متكتلين تعتقدون أنه تبون تحمون السنة، فأول ناس مستعدين يحمون السنة الشباب في الدوار. ما تبون نوصل لهم الكلام؟ نعم. ما تبون نوصل لهم إن الشباب هني لما رحنا لهم قلنا لهم أحد فيكم يبي دولة دينية على طريقة إيران؟ قالوا لنا لا ما نبي. يمكن فيه، لا نقول أكيد في قليل. ما في ولا قليل. حتى العلماء ما
This sentiment is echoed by young activists at Lulu Roundabout.
We were accused by the Sunnis that we don't want Al Khalifa here because we want to bring Iran here. And it's ridiculous. There's no way we replace a dictator with another dictator. Bahrain is a free country. It will remain a free country. It's for all Bahrainis, no matter what you are, whether if you're Sunni, whether if you're Shia, whether if you're Jew, whether if you're Christian. It's for everybody.
The Al Khalifa royal family is offering dialogue, but with 7 people killed and hundreds more injured, the protesters feel the time for talking has passed. A group of 6 political parties is discussing preconditions for talks, but the young people here are clear. Her sign reads, "Don't ignore us, we don't want dialogue."
There is nothing such as dialogue with the one which has murdered the Bahraini people. There isn't anything such as dialogue with the criminals. I believe Al Khalifa is just like cancer, and the way how we're gonna deal with this regime is exactly the same way how we treat ourselves from cancer. So the only way is to cut them off and heal completely from them.
There is good reason for skepticism about dialogue. In 2001, as discussions for a new democratic constitution were underway, the king unilaterally imposed the current disputed political system. Even the parties involved in the talks have doubts about the king's integrity.
Some of the people here are very worried that if we go into a dialogue, the government or the regime will give us a deal and then we'll renege on the deal. They remember the 2001 when the National Charter was agreed in a referendum, only to find out that a year later, on 14th of February 2002, that the king also reneged on the promise of the National Charter. And so they're telling us they will trick you, they will trick you.
Hassan Mushema, head of the outlawed Hack political party, has been in and out of prison for years. He recently returned from the UK, is clearly respected by the people, and has chosen to boycott the talks. He knows the Al Khalifa family better than most, having dealt with them for over 40 years.
We met the king himself in London, and we sat together, we talked about the necessity of dialogue. And I told him, I said to him that we have rights, we have demands, Let us sit at the table, discuss everything, and then, of course, we'll cooperate together to build our country. But unfortunately, after that, when I came back home, they arrested me. See, what kind of people are these? Al-Khalifa's or the regime is not believing of democracy, is not believing of human rights, is not believing of dialogue. So it's just they want to show the world that we have discussed and we have started, of course, the dialogue, which is not true. Some people in America and others, they believe them. They know it's not true, but they believe them. They say, okay, why don't you go to the dialogue? And there is no dialogue.
Down with the monarchy! Down with the monarchy!
On Monday, March 7th, protesters went to the US Embassy, well aware how much influence the Americans have with King Hamad. They say Washington's pro-monarchy approach is supporting the oppression.
Stop supporting dictators! Stop supporting dictators! Stop supporting dictators!
Embassy staff came out to listen to their views. But the US has praised King Hamad for his restraint in pulling back security forces. They said that he has earned the right to pursue a solution through dialogue. The protesters are determined to change Washington's mind. With the Americans taking a much tougher approach to Libya, Bahrainis are asking the question, why are there double standards over what should be done when a ruler is caught killing his unarmed citizens?
Muammar Gaddafi has lost legitimacy to lead, and he must leave. Those who perpetrate violence against the Libyan people will be held accountable. And the aspirations of the Libyan people for freedom, democracy, and dignity must be met.
I have a really important message to the world readers. Mr. Obama, especially to Mr. Obama, where is your support? Why are you supporting the call of dialogue? None of us is calling for dialogue. We have a clear message that we don't want this regime anymore. And if we are the majority, I think we deserve this change. They are calling Al-Gaddafi as a killer of his people. I think Al-Khalifa are more threatening to us.
This is a standoff between two equally entrenched sides. Both have so much to lose, they won't give in. So it seems that international pressure will be the deciding factor. The question is, which side will they back?
So what you'll do with the people who said, we are ready to die? You'll kill all of them? As I said, maybe before, the people were afraid. They don't want to go, to the jail or prison. They don't want to be injured or killed. But this time, really, the people, and especially the young people, they said, this time is something else.
Actually, I don't have faith in them. After the bloody Thursday, we don't want them anymore. At the first, we were asking for correction or making everything better, but now we don't want them. I think that open fire on his public.